Welcome back to Relax Radio. This is Real Talk with me, Nick, and you're talking about what do we know about the Prime Minister's finances? Yeah, this is with regards to the Boris Johnson flat row that is going on right now. But before we head into that, there's a lot of these issues. Like I said, a lot of this was outlined even in a bunch of the shows that we were talking about, and how he was supposed, like, there's been a lot of these text messages of his going out and leaking, and then there's information on how he refurbished his new apartment, yeah, his new flat. So that's just something else that is, we're going to be discussing as we go move along. But before we do that, though, here is a little clip of what we're at and what we have in store right here at Relax Radio. So check this out. That's right. You can always check us out on our website, www.relaxradio.net. And hey, if you want to carry us all around with you, hey, all you got to do is simple. Download the app from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. And you can check us out on social media. We go big on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We go live on these platforms. And hey, also, don't forget, if you want to hit me up or you want to ask me something, you can always call me up on those numbers. It is 07852-473-473. Those are the numbers you can always dial. And yeah, like we were talking anyways, getting back to the topic at hand, the Electoral Commission is investigating the circumstances surrounding who originally paid for the renovations on the Prime Minister's flat above 11 Downing Street. Yeah, so this is the main topic that is going on right now. Who actually paid for this? Well, Boris Johnson was saying that he paid for it himself. It was all through his pocket, and that he's done everything within the rule. He's been following the rule book really, to the dot. But recent newspapers report that he initially told aides that he could not afford it. So what is going on? I mean, hey, what is actually happening right now? So what do we know about his income? Well, how much is the Prime Minister actually being paid? So back during the year of 2020, between 2021, Boris Johnson was entitled to a salary of £79,936. Yeah, and that's as Prime Minister. He claimed £75,440 of it. So that is on top of his entitlement to his salary as MP for Uxbridge and South Ruislip, which is £81,900. Yes, so that's his total salary is £157,000. And he also gets to use the Downing Street rent free, as well as the country house church in Buckinghamshire. So he does have to pay a lot of these taxes as well, for some of the bills paid for the residents, such as heating, lighting, repairs, but that is all capped at 10% of his ministerial salary. So he can't be asked to pay more than £8,000 a year. And he also gets an allowance of £30,000 for refurbishing the Downing Street flat. So what are his other sources of income? This is like the main reason is this is a real huge issue because he spent nearly £250,000 on refurbishing, renovating his apartment. So yeah, members of the parliament have declared their sources of income. So we know that Mr. Johnson owns 50% of a home in London and 20% of a home in Somerset, which together generate a rental income of at least £10,000 a year. So that's the point where property has to be declared by an MP, but the precise rental value is not given in these registers of interests. So he also received a payment for his books, including one about Winston Churchill and a political novel. So yeah, in the most recent registers of interest, he declared payments from publishers of about £23,500 between April 2020 and March 2021. So what has he declared all of this in the past? Well, he's been declaring, that Hannah White from the Institute of the Government said the Prime Minister has a bit of a record on being late on these things. He has a record for being late on especially releasing his finances and letting people know what is going, how much of money he's, how much he's spending, how much his income is. So she points to reports from the Standards of Committee in the House of Commons, which detailed 10 instances where he'd been late in declaring financial interests. And she also says, it's fair to say it's possibly not something that he has a history of giving great priority to. So Boris Johnson made a full and unreserved apology to MPs back in 2018. In case you guys are wondering, this is before he became even the Prime Minister of the UK, for declaring items late amounting to more than £50,000. That's right. And there was a full report, following the following year, criticizing his initial failure to declare 20% stake in the property in Somerset. So it just goes to show, and all of this, there's just a lot of confusion also surrounding these 15,000 worth of holiday accommodation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that he and his partner enjoyed between December of 2019 and January of 2020. All of this thing. So people are wondering, where is the money coming from? How is he having this luxurious lifestyle? And how did he even pay for this apartment all in one go? Well, it just goes to show, the register said it's been donated by Carphone Warehouse, the co-founder David Ross. But later, that all turned out that Mr. Ross had facilitated the holiday rather than pay for it. So this left, these opposition MPs also questioning and wondering, actually scratching their head and wondering, hey, what is the exact nature of this whole agreement? So how did Boris Johnson even go for this holiday between the month of December to January? And all of this is, there's a rule, clear stated rule. So it's clear that Mr. Johnson had to take a considerable pay cut when he became foreign secretary, and again when he became prime minister. So yeah, the register showed he had a lucrative salary and a career as a public speaker, including earning £122,899 for a speech to India, and that was back in 2019 March. Yeah, and he also had £51,000 speaking to Dublin-based pendulum events and training on the 10th of January 2019. He also had another event where he earned $42,000 for speaking engagements with Swiss Economic Forum on May 2019 as well. So he's also a well-paid columnist for a lot of these famous newspapers. So between the years of 2018 and 2019 of July, he paid $22,000 a month by these newspapers, and he said he occupied them for 10 hours a month. So this is just showing, like, people are wondering where is his money even coming from, and how does this all add up? What is going on? How is this all in the midst of it? When you look at it, like I said, Boris Johnson had to pay. He had to spend £250,000, and people are questioning themselves, and a lot of these leaks also that have been happening. So he's been under the spotlight recently, and it just goes to show people are wondering, where is this money even legal? What are the finances? What do people even know about his finances? So there's a lot of these controversy going on, and people are not 100% there yet. They want him to completely declare, because he said at one point, this is nothing that really matters, though. And he said also, Boris Johnson said, he'll comply, though. But he did say that he will comply with any inquiry into the funding of his Downing Street flat revamp. But he added also that, I don't think there's anything to see here or to worry about. Well, the prime minister insisted he was focusing on the stuff that really matters right now. And he's talking about the pandemic going on and all of that. And the Electoral Commission believes the Conservative Party may have broken the law amid reports costs were initially covered by donations. So yeah, a lot of these, these electoral commissions believed also that, like the Conservative Party, they believe that most of this money that Boris Johnson has gotten from these places, it was mostly from donations. Donations, and people are questioning whether it's from these conservative parties as well. So the Labour urged the prime minister to reveal, instantly, quickly as possible, who paid the bill in the first place. So party leader Sir Keir Starmer said the situation was becoming farcical. I mean, it is kind of like a farce. And he added, that it would take Boris Johnson about 1 minute to give the details, and that he can be back on with a day job. So, I mean, Boris Johnson, what is he playing at? He could just open up and tell, hey, this is what's happening. This is where the money came from. This is how we made the dealings. This is where, all the finances have come from. So, like I said, though, it's the interior design of this whole apartment, the questions over the funding of the Down Street renovations, all of this was overseen by his partner and fiance, Carrie Simmons, have dominated the headlines for so many days now. And the thing is, this whole design, interior designing, the costs, done by Lulu Lytle was as high as 200,000 pounds. 200,000 pounds. That's a lot of money that a lot of people cannot even imagine earning in a lifetime. It just goes to show. So yeah, there's this all these things that is going on, and Mrs. Simmons has also denied that she's objected to the way that the flats had been decorated by previous Prime Minister Theresa May, and which the High Society magazine Tatler claimed a visitor had called a John Lewis furniture nightmare. So a lot of these things is being discussed right now, and they're talking about all of these things that is a go. And yeah, this is just how it is. And sometimes it just goes to show that all what right now, especially with what is Boris Johnson doing, he is being accused by all of these things. I think it's time he declares all of this, where he got his monies from, and if it's coming from donations, who is even giving you this much of donation, and for what is the reason for all of these donations? That is what the people want to know. The people want to find out. And yeah, it is like people are questioning like the whole end of the day, it comes down to integrity. If you know where the money is coming from, if you're going to be honest, it's and at the same time, it's transparency. If you're being transparent, if you're telling the people, okay, this is where I go, so people don't lose trust in you, people don't lose their faith in you, then it just goes to show, right? This is just how it is supposed to be. And yeah, this is just how it's always been. And hopefully Boris Johnson can find a way to hopefully bring up this topic, and as things go by. And yeah, that's just another thing that is going on in the UK, and the stuff that they are currently talking about and explaining as going on. Hopefully Boris Johnson can bring the shed some light on this debate and on this issue, because it is going in the headlines. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people, like I said, are scratching their heads. They're asking, how can a guy who earns this much get renovate rather an apartment for this much amount, and where's that money coming from? How is that money coming from? Is he having, did he even declare all of these modes of incomes? So this is just another reason why people are skeptical, susceptible, and they're skeptical rather, and they're wondering, hey, what is this all about? And yeah, this just some things, how it goes. But anyways, I hope he will come out and let us know what is going on in the next coming days. Hopefully this issue will be resolved, although it looks like Boris Johnson is not really taking it very seriously at the moment. He's looking at things on the lighter side and saying, it doesn't really matter, we got to focus on more things. And he's pushing out the agenda, which is the COVID-19 and the vaccine rollout. Hopefully, like that also as well, it is an important thing, but this is also something that we can't be distracted about. We can't be like pretending, oh, this never happened, we don't even know what is going on. We're just going to pretend like we've never seen something like this. So that's just another thing that the people need. Transparency. End of the day, it's all about the transparency. If the government can be transparent with the people will be more trusting. They will have more faith in the system, in the government, and in the people they vote for. So it just hopefully Boris Johnson will come forward and let the people know, especially from where all of these income is coming from. But with that being said, it is about that time of the day for me to head on out of here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, same frequency, only on Real Talk right here at Relax Radio. My name is Nick. Until next time, I hope you guys have an amazing day.